What's my plan in 2026 when it comes to Toshi? Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but it's actually quite simple personally for me. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging once a month, and that's it. That's what I've been doing throughout this whole time. I did it throughout 2025, and I'll still do it as of right now throughout 2026. However, people may be thinking, well, why? Well, I still like Toshi, and I'm hypothetically still thinking about 2 cents, but I'll talk about that later. However, I first want to talk about people saying, who cares about Toshi in 2026? Take a look at how far it's had a pullback. Totally aware of that. And also people like to say, well, in 2026, they released wallpapers. And I'm not joking, by the way, they actually did that. And people may be thinking, how is that even anything significant? Well, keep in mind, it's a meme. It's not supposed to have the best use case out there. And in the use case side of things, we already even see Toshi Mart, Toshi Tools. So it's not like it's completely useless, but that's not the main point. My thing is that Toshi, I think it represents sometimes a unique factor, which I haven't really seen because yes, sure, we've seen Dogecoin, we've seen Shiba Inu and all this, but I like the vibe of Base, right? Or should I say the Base network? Toshi is a meme on there. And what I like about it is that I just haven't really seen this sort of breakout moment when it comes to Base. I just haven't seen that. So what happens if there is one during a hypothetical altcoin season? This is what I'm thinking about. This is why when it comes to Toshi, I still like it. And also, why is 2 cents still on my mind? Well, currently it's around nearly 70 times lower than that. However, people may be thinking like, that's like ridiculous. Take a look at how much Toshi's had a pullback. Totally aware of that. But actually, at one point, not too long ago, that was considered a little bit bearish, actually, according to some people that I know. But besides that point as well, at 2 cents, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around 8.5 billion. Which if we consider Dogecoin reaching over 80 billion in 2021 in terms of market cap and Shiba Inu reaching around 40 billion, what this seems so ridiculous to me. I don't know if I think about it that way because Toshi is arguably, in my perspective, the most popular meme on Base. Now, previously, I think it was Brett, but I think that Toshi pretty much has that title as of right now. The thing is this, though. If I think about Base, am I thinking about 10 different memes? No, I'm not. I'm pretty much thinking about Brett and as well as Toshi, but then Toshi has kind of eclipsed that in terms of popularity in my perspective. So it's not like there's even that many popular options to begin with. So what happens if Base becomes a narrative during an altcoin season, and when it comes to memes, there's only pretty much Toshi and Brett that are pretty popular within that? Hypothetically, if there was attention for something like that, the attention is not going to be spread out too much, right? It's going to be a little bit more concentrated. So is around an 8.5 billion market cap so ridiculous? Again, I don't think about it that way. Personally, though, when I take a look at something like this, people like to tell me that it's not really unique enough. Totally aware of that in terms of it's not reinventing the wheel, but I think it's unique in a sense where it kind of fits the vibe of Base. Like, for instance, it's named after Brian Armstrong's pet cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase. And Coinbase is on the S&P 500, by the way. The thing is this. If I take a look at something like Toshi, people like to say it's kind of irrelevant. Okay, maybe as of right now, it's not that relevant. But what happens again if there's an altcoin season and Base becomes a narrative? This is the way you take a look at it. Let's just take a look at a little bit in the past, right? When Solana had a pretty good narrative. It trickled down to some of the memes, right? We take a look at, for instance, dog with hat and all this. So the thing about Base is that I haven't seen that moment yet, but it would just seem a little bit logical to me, right? If let's say there was something like that, attention, let's say for Base during an altcoin season, I don't know why people would ignore the memes on there. A meme is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be cool, it's not supposed to have the best use case out there, and I do like the vibes when it comes to Toshi. Now, as to I guess a recent thing that they did, releasing wallpapers, again, I get it. It's really nothing that interesting. And especially now we see the pullback when it comes to Toshi, people are complaining about this. But my perspective is this. If there's a project that I still like, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but this is just my mindset. If there's a project that I like, but then it became lower, am I going to complain about that? It's like, for instance, in a totally different make-believe scenario, if I like this t-shirt, right, at full price for whatever reason, and let's say there was randomly a discount at a store, and by the way, this is Abercrombie and Fitch, but I'm saying if there was a discount and I actually liked it, I'd like it even more if there was a discount. That's my perspective. Now, in this situation, sometimes this is a hypothetical mindset that I have. Because to me, sure, had Toshi been around 10 times lower than 2 cents, I mean, I still wouldn't complain anyways, but if it's around nearly 70 times lower than 2 cents, would I be complaining about that if I want to dollar cost average? Because in theory, the lower something is, the happier I'd be when it comes to dollar cost averaging. Now, do I want it low forever? Absolutely not. Why would I want that? But if it just comes to dollar cost averaging, personally for me, that's not something I would mind. It's like, for instance, would it be more logical to be happier dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin at 10 grand or at $2? Right? Logically, I'd be happier if it was $2, but of course, clearly, I don't think it could ever go that low, maybe ever again. So that's totally out of the question. But this is sometimes the mindset that I have. The thing is this. When it comes to, let's say, people saying, oh, people don't care about memes and all this type of stuff anymore. Well, again, usually when there's a market downturn, altcoins, they go down quite a lot, right? But the thing is, when it comes to memes, it's oftentimes more amplified because it's not really associated sometimes with a good use case. Also, on top of that, it doesn't really have any strong fundamentals to kind of tie it all in. So then the pullback just feels a lot more drastic. But it is what it is. It's a meme. What can I do about it? That's just kind of the nature of it sometimes, which is why, personally for me, I just have not given up. Now, I'm not telling anyone to anything, but this is my perspective. I don't only hold this, by the way, right? I never only just want to hold one project, but when I take a look at just the fundamentals of what a meme is supposed to be, like in terms of being fun, exciting, and all this, I do hypothetically see that personally in my mind when it comes to Toshi. So I just don't want to give up. This is my mindset, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Now, am I going to be able to know if there's going to be an altcoin season and as to when exactly it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I'm not going to be able to know any of that. But the thing for me is, I just like to stay waiting in case. That's it. The keyword is in case, right? It doesn't mean that anything could happen, but it's just in case. That's the way to take a look at it. Also, my perspective is this. If I wasn't holding anything, let's say within this space, I'm still going to have to be living my life anyways, right? I'm still going to have to go through 2026 and all this, whether I'm holding or not. Like, for instance, 10 years ago, Bitcoin was way lower than right now. Was I holding back then? Absolutely not. And the market just did its thing without me. Now, of course, I am unable to go back in the past, but I can focus on the present, which is why I just don't want to quit. This is the way to take a look at it. Now, also, when it comes to, let's say, a project, right? Whether I'm holding or not, it's going to do its thing with or without me. Like, for instance, I'm just one individual. I can't affect anything when it comes to this space. There's nothing I can do. Let's assume, in a make-believe scenario, a project just has around 5,000 holders, or let's say 10,000 holders, right? If I'm just one individual, I can't do anything about this. Personally, I cannot, right? I'm unable to do that. Let alone if there's 100,000, 200,000 holders. I will never be able to do anything. Whether I'm in it or not, it literally has pretty much, to me, right, almost a negligible effect, right? It almost feels like near 0% effect because I'm just one individual. Like, I can't do anything. I know that whatever happens to this space, whether it's up or down, it's going to do it regardless of me, whether I'm in this space or not. But then I just like to stay waiting. That's the way to take a look at it. But this is my mindset as of right now. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a very nice day, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and feel free to also like the video if you liked it. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll be sure to make more updates when it comes to Toshi. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.